All right, let's get right into it because this is a big one. We're talking about something that could completely change how we fight heart disease. Imagine a single shot, just one, that could permanently lower your cholesterol for the rest of your life.
Now, chances are you know someone, maybe it's a family member, a friend, maybe it's even you, who's dealing with high cholesterol. It's this constant daily thing. You've got pills, you're watching your diet, you're going to the doctor, all just to keep this huge risk factor for heart disease in check.
But what if you could trade all of that in for just one treatment? A single fix that could potentially last a lifetime. Well, that's not science fiction anymore. It's the incredible promise of a new therapy. And honestly, the early results are pretty mind-blowing.
So, why all the excitement? I mean, don't we already have pills for this? Well, to really get why this is such a big deal, you first have to understand the problem with the solutions we have right now.
Okay, so on the one hand, you've got statins. They're the gold standard, but you have to take a pill every single day, and that's tough. In fact, it's so tough that about half of all patients just stop taking them after a year. But this new therapy, it's a whole different ball game. We're talking about a one-time infusion that makes a permanent change with the potential to last your entire life.
So how on earth is that even possible? I mean, a permanent fix? The secret sauce is this incredible technology called CRISPR. Let's break down how these so-called genetic scissors are being aimed right at the heart of the cholesterol problem.
You know, it all started with some really clever detective work. Scientists found this one specific gene, ANGPTL3. And it turns out there's some very lucky people out there who have a natural mutation that basically switches this gene off. The result? They have super low cholesterol and are way less likely to get heart disease with no other real side effects. And that was the light bulb moment. What if we could do that on purpose? What if we could switch that gene off for everybody?
And this is how they do it. It's so elegant. You get a single infusion. Inside are these tiny fat particles that act like little delivery drones, heading straight for your liver. Once they get there, they release their cargo, the molecular scissors that find the AMGPTL3 gene and make one precise cut to turn it off. That's it. The result is a permanent, lifelong change that lowers not just your bad cholesterol, but your triglycerides too.
Okay, so that's the theory, and it sounds amazing. But here's the billion-dollar question. Does it actually work in real people? Well, let's get to the results, because this is where the story gets really, really good.
So the first human trial went down at the famous Cleveland Clinic. It was a small, early-stage trial with just 15 patients. But these weren't just any patients. They all had dangerously high cholesterol that wasn't responding well to other treatments. They each got a single dose.
And get this, for the patients who got the highest dose, their LDL, the bad cholesterol, it dropped by an average of 50%. Let me just say that again, 50%. That is a huge, game-changing number.
But wait, there's more. It wasn't just LDL. Their triglyceride levels also fell by a stunning 55%. So what's so incredible here is that this one shot powerfully hits two of the biggest culprits in heart disease all at the same time.
I mean, just look at the difference here. The before and after is just night and day. We're not talking about a little tweak here and there. This is a massive, sustained drop in the very things that clog up our arteries.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The guy who led the study, Dr. Steven Nissen, who is an absolute giant in the cardiology world, he called the results pretty spectacular, and he said, this is a very big deal. You know, when a doctor of his stature uses words like that, you really need to pay attention.
Okay, so as exciting as this all is, with any science this powerful, we have to pump the brakes just a little bit and be really clear-eyed. So let's talk about the road ahead, because it's filled with both incredible promise and some very real peril.
So let's be real. This was a tiny trial, and we need to see what happens in the long run. The FDA suggests following up for as long as 15 years for gene therapies like this, and it's important to note one participant did pass away, though investigators determined it was because of their advanced heart disease and not the therapy. Still, when you're talking about making a permanent change to someone's DNA, safety isn't just important, it is everything.
But if they can prove it's safe over the long haul, wow, the potential is just staggering. Sam Kulkarni, the CEO of the company that developed this, he paints this incredible picture of the future. He says, I see someone at high risk of heart disease who in their 30s has this so they don't get heart disease in the future. Think about that. We'd be shifting from just treating disease to preventing it from ever starting.
And that leaves us with this huge, powerful question. Is this more than just a better way to lower cholesterol? Could we be looking at the very beginning of a new age in medicine? An age where we can use gene editing to stop some of our deadliest diseases before they even get a chance to start? And if that's the case, well, that changes everything.